Hello there. Welcome to Sumit Academy. I do hope that you have subscribed to my channel. Do subscribe now so that you do not miss out on my previous or future videos. In this video, we shall talk about the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016. This code is the bankruptcy law of India, which seeks to consolidate the existing framework by creating a single law for insolvency and bankruptcy. The need for this law arose because there were multiple overlapping laws and adjudicating forums dealing with financial failure and insolvency of companies and individuals in India. The legal and institutional framework did not aid lenders in effective and timely recovery or restructuring of defaulted assets and caused undue strain on the Indian credit system. The code offers a uniform, comprehensive insolvency legislation encompassing all companies, partnerships, and individuals other than financial firms. The government is proposing a separate framework for bankruptcy resolution in failing banks and financial sector entities. One of the fundamental features of the code is that it allows creditors to assess the viability of a debtor as a business decision and agree upon a plan for its revival or speedy liquidation. Code creates a new institutional framework consisting of a regulator, insolvency professionals, information utilities, and adjudicatory mechanisms that will facilitate a formal and time-bound insolvency resolution process and liquidation. The code provides for a time-bound process to resolve insolvency. When a default in repayment occurs, creditors gain control over the debtor's assets and must take decisions to resolve insolvency within a 180-day period. The deadline may be extended if the creditors do not raise objections on the extension. To ensure an uninterrupted resolution process, the code also provides immunity to debtors from resolution claims of creditors during this period. For smaller companies, including startups, with an annual turnover of up to rupees 1 crore, the whole exercise of insolvency must be completed in 90 days, and the deadline can be extended by 45 days. If debt resolution doesn't happen, the company goes for liquidation. Let us try to answer a few basic questions on this code. The first question is as to who regulates the IBC proceedings. The Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India has been appointed as the regulator and can oversee these proceedings. It has 10 members, including those from the Ministries of Finance, Corporate Affairs, Law and Justice, the Reserve Bank of India, and the Chief Economic Advisor of the Government of India. Secondly, who facilitates the insolvency resolution? A licensed professional administers the resolution process, manages the assets of the debtor, and provides information for creditors to assist them in decision making. third, who adjudicates over the proceedings? The proceedings of the resolution process are adjudicated by the National Companies Law Tribunal for companies and the Debt Recovery Tribunal for individuals. The courts approve initiating of the resolution process, appointing the insolvency professional, and approving the final decision of the creditors. The Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board regulates insolvency professionals, insolvency professional agencies, and information utilities set up under the code. A notable feature of the code is the creation of information utilities to collect, collate, authenticate, and disseminate financial information of debtors in centralized electronic databases. The code requires creditors to provide financial information of debtors to multiple utilities on an ongoing basis. Such information would be available to creditors, resolution professionals, liquidators, and other stakeholders in insolvency and bankruptcy proceedings. Fourth, what is the procedure to resolve insolvency under the code? When a default occurs, the resolution process may be initiated by the debtor or creditor. The insolvency professional administers the process. The professional provides financial information of the debtor from the information utilities to the creditor and manages the debtor's assets. Fifth, what does the committee of creditors do? A committee consisting of the financial creditors who lent money to the debtor is formed by the insolvency professional. The creditors committee decides the future of the outstanding debt owed to them. They may choose to revive the debt owed to them by changing the repayment schedule or selling the assets of the debtor to get back their dues. If a decision is not taken in 180 days, the debtor's assets go into liquidation. Sixth, what happens under liquidation? If the debtor goes into liquidation, the insolvency professional administers the liquidation process. Proceeds from the sale of the debtor's assets are distributed in the following order. First, insolvency resolution costs, including the remuneration to the insolvency professional. Second, secured creditors whose loans are backed by collateral. And third, dues to workers, other employees, and unsecured creditors. India's weak insolvency regime, its significant inefficiencies, and systematic abuse are some of the reasons for the distressed state of credit markets in India today. The code promises to bring about far-reaching reforms with a thrust on creditor-driven insolvency resolution. The code also has provisions to address cross-border insolvency through bilateral agreements and reciprocal arrangements with other countries. The unified regime envisages a structured and time-bound process for insolvency resolution and liquidation which should significantly improve debt recovery rates and revitalize the ailing Indian corporate bond markets. The resolution process is now institutionalized, standardized, and professionalized, which should translate to reduced cost of process. Well, that's all from me in this video. This video is based on the information freely available on the internet. No originality is claimed for the same. I express my gratitude to all the media and legal websites for the information carried by them. The intention of this video is to prepare candidates for answering examination questions only. Do like this video and do share on your social media. And remember, do subscribe to my channel now so that you do not miss out on my previous or future videos. Till later then, cheerio.